President, PhD Chamber, Dr. D.K. Agarwal, Senior Vice President, Mr. Sanjay Agarwal, Mr. Ajay Poddar, Chairman, International Affairs Committee for ASEAN, East Asia and Oceania, Dr. Ramesh, Your Excellency, the Ambassador of Thailand, other ambassadors and high commissioners of the audience, excellencies, diplomats. I think we can all agree that this has been an exceptionally productive and thought-provoking inaugural session of the kind that we don't very often see at these conferences. The kind of reflections that have been made by the Honorable Minister and other very distinguished members on the panel really provide ample guidelines for the deliberations and discussions that are going to follow and should ensure a very, very meaningful and successful meeting. If there is one word which would sum up the many things that have been said, it is that of change. There is no doubt about it that India itself is on the treadmill, but apart from that, the ASEAN region, the India-ASEAN relationship, and the entire region is in fact on a treadmill of change, most of which is extremely positive. In fact, I was reminded of the remark that was made at another meeting the other day. China is very much in the news these days, that the Chinese language, unlike all the other languages that we have in the world, has a different concept of what is past and what is future. For most of us, the past is behind us and the future is ahead of us. But in the Chinese language, it is the future which is behind and the past which is ahead. And if you analyze, or if you ask a Chinese why it is so, he will probably say that because, the past is something that you see, you can see, therefore it is ahead of you. Whereas the future is behind you, you cannot see it. Now, it is very obvious that as far as the past is concerned, many Indians certainly do not even recognize the tremendous changes that are taking place in the past, that have taken place in the past, particularly since Mr. Modi became the Prime Minister of India. Tremendous changes, and therefore they are not able to appreciate the kind of future, the kind of very promising future that is ahead of us. And it is extremely important that we have been given a reminder of both the past in terms of achievements and the future in terms of the promise that awaits us, which should provide the setting for the discussion that we have in the next 2 days. There is obviously a compulsive logic in the complementarity, in the potential, in the felt need for India and ASEAN to come together for a much brighter future for the region and therefore for the world. And I would really like to thank the Honourable Minister for the very, very important thoughts that he has shared with us. Thank you, respected Dr. Jitendra Singh Ji. Thank you, Mr. President and Senior Vice President of PhD Chamber. Thank you, Dr. Ramesh Kodamal, and Your Excellency, the Ambassador of Thailand. And my thanks also to all the ambassadors and high commissioners and other diplomats who are there, along with the delegates who have very kindly joined us. And we look forward to a very, very meaningful and a very productive conference in the next 2 days, thanks to the excellent inaugural session that we have had. Thank you very much.
We will just take 2 more minutes of the Honorable Minister for a photo op, and I would like to invite all the ambassadors from the ASEAN countries to kindly join us on the dais.